Hey there, and welcome to Films According to Chris Wyatt presents Movie Musings. For today's topic, why the Haunted Mansion needs a new movie. When I was in Disneyland a few weeks ago, I was sure to get in plenty of time on my favorite Disneyland attraction, the Haunted Mansion.
Welcome, foolish mortals, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host.
The Haunted Mansion is just such a cool ride. It's dark, it's scary, it's funny, it's creative, it's vibrant, it's, despite the subject matter, lively as hell. I can't think of another theme park attraction, Disney or otherwise, with as much personality as the Haunted Mansion. On my most recent trip, I rode it 4 times, and I still don't feel like I saw everything on it. And it did get me thinking that the Haunted Mansion really does deserve another shot at a feature film. Now, I know there was already a movie made based on the attraction released back in 2003 starring Eddie Murphy, but it wasn't very good and hardly anyone even remembers it. And with the plethora of adaptations, reboots, remakes, sequels, prequels, spin-offs, etc., I get that yet another one may not sound totally appealing. But I feel like there's just so much movie potential for this property, and if done right, it could be really awesome. But how? Now, there are many ways a decent movie could be made out of the Haunted Mansion, but my personal pitch? The Haunted Mansion as a horror anthology film. Anthology movies have generally been a semi-popular subset of the horror genre. TV shows and movies like Creepshow, The Twilight Zone, Cat's Eye, The Outer Limits, Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, Tales from the Hood. Lots of tales in these movies. For the most part, these movies fared pretty well. They frequently showcased some ridiculously creative ideas, storytelling, and filmmaking. Most importantly, though, these movies and shows, while scary, usually had a fun tongue-in-cheek sense of humor to them as well. And I think that's pretty much the Haunted Mansion in a nutshell. Scary, but fun. Creepy, but goofy. Dark and mysterious, but playful and joyful. The ride itself has so many characters, scenes, and setups, each with a story, parting the pun here, dying to be told. Like that bit in the attic with the creepy bride and her headless husbands. Pretty clear she's a Black Widow. Why did she kill them? Was it for the money? Was she insane? Was she possessed? Definitely some story possibilities there. Or how about that ballroom with all the dancing ghosts and that girl blowing out the birthday candles? What are they celebrating? They're dead, for crying out loud. Did something terrible happen at a party and they're forced to relive that moment over and over in death? Or maybe they actually found some inner peace and are experiencing joy in their afterlife. And then there's Madame Leota, the medium in the crystal ball. What's her story? Maybe she made some deal with some not-so-friendly spirits or entities and is cursed to spend an eternity in her crystal ball. Or maybe she's communicating through another dimension, or even hell. That's kind of a dark thought, I guess, but it's interesting. How about all those grim, grinning ghosts partying out in the graveyard? They seem like they're having a good time, but are they really? Maybe they're only happy when mortal humans are nearby. Or maybe that's the only time a spirit can present itself. Those hitchhiking ghosts at the end that literally hitch a ride with the guests as they leave, they certainly seem like they want out. Is the house cursed? Is the house an actual spiritual being itself? Is anyone who steps inside doomed and forced to join? The guy narrating the ride does say there's 999 spirits in the house, but they have room for 1,000. So what happens when they hit 1,000? What happens if they go over 1,000? There is so much happening in this ride, each with a possible backstory behind it. I don't know if they would all be dense enough for their own feature, but that's why I think an anthology film could be pretty amazing. I mean, it's Disney, so it would probably have to be somewhat family-friendly, but look at the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. They've done some pretty dark stuff and definitely hasn't strayed away from the supernatural, so yeah, it can be done. And before anyone brings this up, yes, I know that director Guillermo del Toro has stated that he's developing a new Haunted Mansion movie, and don't get me wrong, that sounds like an awesome choice. In fact, I'd say both him and Sam Raimi are probably the 2 most qualified directors for this project. It's just that he announced his involvement back in 2010, and while once in a while he makes an announcement that he is still working on the project, you gotta wonder if it's ever gonna happen at this point. And if he does ever get it made, I'll be first in line to see it. But if not, well, I think an anthology film could be an interesting angle for this property. So yeah, Disney's The Haunted Mansion. Lots of movie potential. It might be a bit on the riskier side for the Mouse House, but there is definitely an audience for this kind of material, and the ride does have a significant cult following. And we haven't had a good family-friendly horror film in a while, so I think the Haunted Mansion has the requisite thrills, laughs, and creativity to fill that void. Hopefully, sooner or later, it'll happen. Alright, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of a potential Haunted Mansion movie by leaving me a comment below, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and share it with all your friends, and be sure to tune in soon for a new video. I'll see you next time.
When the crypt doors creak and the tombstones quake, through sky.